Hi, I'm Chef Lynn, and I'm at the Triple Nickel Restaurant in downtown Birmingham on Woodward Avenue. We're going to talk to the owners today, we're going to make 3 dishes with the chef, and we're going to talk to the marketing and event manager. So stay tuned and learn a lot more about this really interesting place. So speaking of the owners, let's start with them first. They're right here with me. We have Jack Reinhardt and
Hello.
Mark Blanky. Hello.
Hello, how are you?
Let's start with Jack. Jack, what was your idea? Where did this idea for this restaurant come from?
Well, originally we did have a liquor license at the 555, and we somehow got transferred to another venue. And we had the chance to get a bistro license, and we went for a bistro license. We were not able to get it, and then we were able to get an economic development license. I wanted to activate the south end of Birmingham. There wasn't enough action down here, and we've got the largest building in Birmingham. And
So it was originally your idea as an owner of the 555 building?
Right.
Okay, because I don't think of you as a restaurateur.
No, I am not a restaurateur. So this was all driven by trying to create and activate the south end of Birmingham.
So you're the business guy, okay.
Yeah, right.
All right, and you were friends with Mark?
That's correct, yeah. Well, I've known Mark for probably 25 years. Our sons played sports and went to school together,
And
so.
were you next door neighbors, did I hear?
We lived in the same neighborhood.
In the same neighborhood, okay.
Right.
All right, so you brought Mark in and,
Yeah, my family started Sinbad's in 1949, so I've been in the restaurant business actually since the mid-70s. So while I was in college, I worked in restaurants, and then after I finished school, I started at Sinbad's in 1980. And then after I took over Sinbad's in 85, so I've been doing this for a long time.
and you brought the chef with you too, right?
Yeah,
The chef is
yeah.
also an owner of the restaurant. That's so
Yeah,
cool.
John-
It's great when he is really involved.
You know what, John's a great chef, a hard worker, and a great partner.
Wonderful. And how did you come up with the name for Triple Nickel?
Well, actually, this building was built in 1974 with the address 555. From inception, it was called by everybody the Triple Nickel.
Okay, the
You
whole
know,
building was.
Yeah, the whole building was. Everybody in the community called it the Triple Nickel. So when we first started looking at naming it, that was one of the first names that came up. When it was a bistro, we didn't think it was the appropriate name, so we had Crush, because
Okay.
it was going to be more of a kind of a wine bar. Once we went to a full restaurant, then it was a natural, to come back to the Triple Nickel, because we wanted to be a casual place. We wanted to have kind of something that helped identify that it was located as part of the 555 complex. So we
Plus it ended up being a marketing dream,
Oh,
right?
yeah,
Because there's so much that's in this restaurant about the nickel and so many interesting things to look at. So how about just telling me a little bit about the art and its purpose?
Well, first of all, the trademark is the Indian head nickel. We chose that because on the Indian side it says Liberty. On the Buffalo Head side it says United States of America, e pluribus unum. Now, I ask most people to come in this restaurant, do you know what e pluribus unum is? And they say no.
Uh-oh. Then you better tell them.
It is the model of the United States, and it's Latin and stands for from many to one. It signified basically this nation was created by immigrants from all over the world forming one nation. So that's really our trademark.
Okay.
So we try to,
Really an American theme going on here, right?
we wanted to have we wanted to celebrate America in this restaurant.
Okay.
And then, so we look for American artifacts. This particular painting here, I found it was on the back of the centennial announcement of the inauguration of George Washington as President of the United States. I
goodness.
I found that in Florida. Very, very, extremely well done. It's probably about 12 pages long. And then there was also a separate, which was an invitation to the ball to celebrate the centennial inauguration of George Washington. And the back of that, this was in gold leaf. And it had everything in our restaurant. It has the pluribus unum, it's got the American eagle and the American flag. So that was one of the perfect.
So you had that blown up and made into a piece of artwork.
Yeah, I had it blown up and made into a piece of artwork.
You've got a couple other favorites around here, I think, right?
I do have a couple other favorites. One is you're coming down the stairs, you're going to see an American eagle with the American flag right behind him. And American eagle is, the symbol of the United States. That particular one, not only does it have the flag, but if you look at his eyes, they're so piercing, the eagle eye. Well, you look at that, and I thought it was very demonstrative of the great shot of the American eagle. We also have a picture, piece of art by Peter Max. It's called God Bless America, the Five Liberties, and it's basically the Statue of Liberty with 4 smaller statues superimposed.
Very cool.
To represent, the freedom from want, freedom of speech, freedom of religion, freedom to assemble. So we thought that kind of was a nice piece for the restaurant. Another piece I like is that we've got a great picture of Marilyn Monroe sitting at a dinner table.
An American icon.
American icon. So those are some of my favorite art pieces.
Awesome,
in the
right.
restaurant.
Well, you really, if you come to this restaurant, you have to look around and go see their other rooms because there are so many really interesting things all over the place. And Mark, what's your favorite thing about the restaurant?
Well, it's an American theme restaurant, and what's better than to celebrate America?
Right.
We came up with the buffalo nickel. What's more American than the buffalo nickel? So the triple nickel and the Indian head, and I think it just worked out real well.
Right, and there's real easy parking here too. I think most people don't realize that, and I struggled a little bit myself, so why don't you explain that?
We've got parking all along the streets here, but for inclement weather, it's really perfect because you can enter the parking structure off of Bowers, and you can use the 555 parking structure. You can use floor 2, 3, or 4, and you just come to the second set of elevators, and then you can come right down to floor 1, and you're right in the restaurant.
So it's so easy. And then do you
Yeah.
reimburse parking? Is
Right?
parking free?
Yep. You can grab your ticket when you get your parking, and bring it in, and we'll give you a coin to get out.
Okay,
Token.
awesome. Anything
All right.
else that's special about?
Anybody
Can come, you told
Yeah,
me,
you know
right?
it. Anybody can come here, come as you are. Whether you're a yoga class or if you're working or you're a businessman, lunches, dinners, we welcome everybody as you are. So please come and
That's
give
wonderful.
us a shot.
I'm so excited about all I've learned about the triple nickel. Let's go take a look and meet Chef John Fleming, and we'll see what he has in store for us today. This is Chef John Fleming, and we're upstairs in the bar area of Triple Nickel. Chef, you're going to make a brunch dish for us, is that correct?
That's right. We're going to start off with an Italian sausage skillet, one of the items that we do have on our Sunday brunch menu. So to start off, we'll get some clarified butter here, and then we're going to blister. Yeah, we're going to blister these banana peppers. So we want the pan really hot, because what we're trying to do is we want to blister these peppers up and get them nice and crispy. Okay, so now we do that, and then we're going to add some red onion to that. And so
How much of what did you?
I got about, see, we got a nice little garden out there, so we have banana peppers that we're growing fresh herbs, fresh spices, tomatoes. So you see how, outside, right outside here. But you see how I blistered these peppers up just a touch?
Yeah.
That's what I'm looking for, is that little bit of blister there. So that's
You got
why
like a cup of peppers.
I
a cup of
got, you got one
red
pepper and I got a half a red onion.
Okay.
And then we're gonna take a little bit of diced fingerling potatoes and we'll saute that up as well with them.
Like a cup and a half, right?
A
People
cup
like
and
to
a-
know how
yeah,
much you're
okay,
using here.
a cup and a half of potatoes, okay. We'll do that. And then so we'll saute these up a little bit together here, and then we're gonna add just a touch more of the liquid clarified butter. And then we'll let that saute up a little bit.
Clarified butter is just with the white
Yeah,
solids taken out.
exactly.
Melt it.
I melt it down and then exactly, and I take the cream from the bottom. So then
I
we
gotta
get,
tell you that Chef doesn't like TV.
Okay.
So that's why he's going so fast. He's trying
Okay.
to get this over with.
okay, so as we saute the onions and the banana peppers and the potatoes, now we're gonna add our Italian sausage, which is already roasted off.
It looks like two
It's one length, yeah.
Italian, sweet Italian.
It's a mild Italian sausage because we have the banana peppers which have the heat.
Okay.
Okay, so then we're gonna saute that with it there. And then as we saute that down a little bit and get the heat in there, what we'll do is we'll add some fresh diced tomatoes.
Half a cup, one tomato.
Well, about a half a tomato.
Okay. Half
Okay.
a big tomato must be.
There you go.
It looks like quite a bit.
Okay.
What did you call this again?
This is our Italian sausage skillet.
This is for one person or two?
This is for one person. Our portions are very nice on our Sunday brunch. You'll find that we have one of the better brunch menus in town. It's an awesome brunch menu. We have a skillet.
Is there a lot of coughing going on in the kitchen?
No, it's again, with these peppers, you want to kind of blister them up if you could. So then we have just a little bit of fresh rosemary from our garden. Okay. And then last but not least, we're going to finish this here with some beef demi-glaze.
Very nice. Very nice.
The demi-glace is what we do is we take reductions on bones. So that's demi-glace. It'll take me I'll reduce that down overnight. So I let that go for about 12 to 14 hours. I'll roast my bones off in the oven. So that right there is, and then what I do is roast the bones down overnight, and then I will strain the bones out and get a nice real rich sauce out of it. Okay, so that's pretty much done here. Now what we're gonna do here is we're just gonna get a couple of eggs in the skillet here. It's hot pan already, right?
2 eggs.
2 eggs. Okay. There's the intention to not to, if we can. Okay, hopefully we'll continue on like that. Okay. Now.
No salt and pepper?
No salt and pepper, because all the stuff we have here in the skillet's got a lot of flavor. So this here is kind of, and this here is kind of gonna, what happens here is we try to get them like an over easy style. And what happens is the yolks break and they make like a little sauce for it as well. So,
You're gonna leave the yolks a little bit.
exactly.
Sorry.
So.
Okay, so tell me a little bit about your brunch.
Eggs over here. Our Sunday brunch goes from 11 o'clock till 3 o'clock on Sunday. And again, we have we have egg dishes on it. We got an Italian sauce. We have a skillet section. We have an eggs Benedict section. And then we have like a healthy omelet section, if you will. Excuse me. So we'll put that right here in the skillet. Okay. Yeah, this is one of the skillet dishes that we have. So that's that.
The nice thing about that is then the skillet isn't hot.
Right. And
Do
then
you ever heat this?
not very hot. I mean, and then we put our eggs right on top.
That's gorgeous.
And then we garnish it with a little bit of microgreens. And that's our Italian sausage skillet.
Awesome.
Okay?
Okay,
And
now
that's
what's
that
your
dish.
next dish?
The next dish will be a steak with the wild mushroom sauce.
All right. Well, we'll be right back and we'll look at steak with wild mushroom sauce. So here we are with our second dish with Chef John. What are you making now again?
We're doing a steak with the wild mushroom sauce. We have 2 4-ounce fillets, or medallions of filet mignon. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna sear them in the pan real quick here. We got a little bit of clarified butter in the pan right now. And we'll gonna sear these up, get them nice golden brown on the one side.
Now realize we're up in the bar, we're not in the kitchen, so we don't have a hood fan above us, so that's why you're seeing so much smoke here. It's a little different.
So we'll brown these up real nice on the one side if we could. And then
Did you put salt and pepper or oil or anything?
little salt and pepper on them already.
Okay, oil?
Okay. I started with some clarified butter. Okay.
But not on the steak?
Not on the
just
steak.
in the pan?
Just in the pan.
Okay.
Okay, then we're gonna flip them.
Oh,
And then we're gonna
nicely brown.
we're gonna add some wild mushrooms here. I got creminis, shiitakes, and oyster mushrooms.
Yummy.
So we'll add that to the pan.
You got maybe a cup and a half of mushrooms?
About a cup and a half of
Because
mushrooms.
they'll cook down a lot, right?
Exactly. So we'll start with that. And then what we want to do is we'll add a little bit of fresh chopped garlic.
Always great.
Okay.
It's like 2 teaspoons.
Right, and then we got a little
I
bit of
have to keep you
shallots here.
honest here.
I got 1 shallot here.
Okay?
Okay. And so we'll saute
You say
this.
shallot, I say shallot.
Okay, there you go. And then we're going to add just a touch more of the butter in the pan. Okay. and we
A little
wanna-
butter's good, a lot is better. Right?
Well, you know, it's a personal opinion, but you know.
Yeah.
So as far as that goes, we got our mushrooms that are sauteing down.
So if you took the milk solids out of the butter, can we call this dish vegan?
Yes, you could. Without the fillet.
Do you mark that on your menu or no?
Yes, we do, very
You do,
much so.
okay, great.
Okay, so then what we're going to do at this point, after we sauteed
Okay,
our
I'm getting out of
mushrooms,
the
our
way here.
shallots, and our garlic, we're going to deglaze with a little bit of brandy.
Yeah. Opa!
Okay. A little bit of nice red wine.
Brandy and wine.
There you go.
Okay, this is going to be mine, guys.
Okay. And then we'll add a little bit of our veal demi-glace.
Yes. Can I
Okay.
get about a bucket of that to take home?
It's a beautiful thing. It's an awesome
Oh, it
sausage.
takes so much work,
It's
too.
very versatile too. You can make some great dishes by just adding a few ingredients to it. Then we're going to add a little bit of Dijon mustard here,
About a tablespoon.
about a tablespoon,
Dijon
a couple
mustard.
splashes of Tabasco,
Ooh, lots of stuff in here.
okay,
Yummy.
a couple splashes of Worcestershire sauce, a little bit of fresh thyme that we grow in our garden here,
All chopped up. About a tablespoon of chopped
right?
up.
And then we're going to
thyme.
finish it with a little bit of heavy cream,
Ooh.
okay?
Oh my gosh. This is to die for.
So
Delicious.
that's there.
And then that comes right out of the kitchen hot.
Yes, it
I'm ready
does.
to go.
Beautiful. So we'll plate our medallions and then we'll incorporate our sauce.
Wow, those mushrooms cook down so fast
Yeah,
because your pan's so hot, right?
exactly.
So can you order this steak rare? Or
Yes, you can. We cook it to temp in the restaurant. This is one of our dishes on our menu.
So then you'd have to cook this, take it off, make the sauce, and put the sauce back on?
Exactly. We saute it off and then, you know, we cook it, again, if it was well done, I'd probably leave the steak in the pan a little longer.
Okay,
Okay, our sauce is pretty much done now and then we're gonna plate.
that's delicious. Okay, plate her up. I'm hungry. Ooh, delicious. So this is for one person, right?
Yes, it is.
Like you said, your portion sizes are huge.
Yeah, they're good
Very
portion
generous.
sizes.
So you
right?
could come here and take some home and have 2 meals.
I want to tell you, we have reasonable portions at great prices. And it's awesome because the owners let me start out with some of the finest ingredients. So I think that, you know, you'll really enjoy some of the food that we have to offer here at the Triple Nickel. And that's
Awesome.
that dish there.
Okay, let's move on to the third dish. So before we start our third dish, why don't you tell me how you came to the Triple Nickel? Where did they find you?
Well, I was the executive chef of Sinbad's on the River for 20 years. And Mark
20 years?
Yeah, and Mark
I didn't
Blanky.
think you were that old.
Yeah. Mark Blanky, the owner of Sinbad's, and Jack Reinhardt are neighbors. And Mark Blanky's the owner of Sinbad's. So when Jack was building the restaurant in between the two 555 buildings, he asked Mark and I to come aboard.
Both of you together? Oh,
Yes.
that's awesome.
Yeah, so-
He must have frequented Sinbad's a lot.
Yeah, so it's been a pretty cool venture so far. It's been an awesome run so far. Things have been
Neat. Yeah, you seem really happy here, and you're very
great.
fast.
It's
I
great.
think people can count on their food coming right out of the
There you go.
kitchen really fast.
You know,
Which is a good thing. I like to eat hot food.
We try to take care of our customers. Okay, so we're going to start with a.
What are you gonna make?
A lemon caper lake perch. This is on our menu. It's probably one of our most popular
Michigan dish.
dishes. Yeah, it's Michigan lake perch.
There goes that clarified butter
Okay, and here we
again.
go with a little bit of
Like that
clarified
idea.
butter, like we want. And again, we pan extremely hot. I can't emphasize that enough about hot pans because that's where you get your nice sear on your fish and it doesn't become soggy.
So that's
Okay.
kind of where most people go wrong at home,
Exactly,
right? Pan
exactly.
isn't hot enough.
Right.
You know, I'm guilty of that sometimes.
And then I'm going to put my perch skin side up. Okay, put the flesh side down
Inside up because
because we want to crisp the skin up, or we want to crisp the flesh up a little bit.
we don't want it to curl, right?
Right, exactly. But it's going to curl a little bit, but not too much. So that's not too bad.
And
Now,
what have you got on top here? You've got some kind of panko or
we,
something?
what we have is a seasoned flour.
Okay.
Okay, we
but
make
it's a real light flour.
Right,
It looks like
it's-
cake flour, maybe?
Yes, exactly. We make it in-house. You know, it's got salt, pepper, garlic, a little bit of thyme, and oregano in it.
And is it AP flour or
It's
is
all-purpose flour, yes.
Okay.
Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to saute our perch up just a touch here. And get it so it
Did you
starts
catch
to,
these perch?
you know, we have some of the finest seafood, and we'll talk about that later on when we get to the table where we got some of our stuff displayed.
Okay.
But right now, this is the yellow lake perch out of Lake Erie. Okay, so we're going to flip our pieces here as they curl a little bit so they're nice golden brown. Okay. And then
Beautiful.
what we want to do is, at this point, is we're going to add just a touch of garlic.
So fish cooks really fast.
Exactly.
And it's not smelly at all.
This dish, oh, you're going to find this is some of the finest perch available. This dish is awesome. So we add
Is
a
that
little
the
bit,
key?
little bit of
Because-
chopped garlic.
Is that the key? Because I know a lot of people don't want to cook fish at home because they think it's so smelly.
Yeah, but
if it's really
it's
fresh.
just exactly. It's what you start off with. And again, we start off with some of the finest ingredients here at the Triple Nickel. Our fish is by far the best out of any restaurant in Birmingham, I can assure you. So we put some capers in the pan, some garlic. Now we're going to squeeze a little bit of fresh lemon in the pan.
Is this one serving?
Yes, this is one serving again.
6 perch.
Yeah.
One serving.
Again, our
Do you
portions
allow
are
people to
nice.
split dishes?
Yes, we do. Okay, so we got a little bit of fresh lemon juice. We're going to add some white wine to this now.
Okay. You
Okay.
like to cook with alcohol.
You know,
Right.
It's a beautiful thing. It
Why?
adds some nice flavors.
And also acid
There you go. The
brings
acid-
out the flavor in the other thing.
For sure. Then we're going to add a little bit of heavy cream here. Okay. And
Just
we're
a
gonna,
little, it's okay.
And then we're going to shake that around real good. We'll plate our perch and then we'll finish the sauce with just a touch of whole butter.
And look at how that has thickened up so quickly. Beautiful. So do you have a different person plating, or do you do
Yes,
cooking,
we do.
plating?
Yeah. I pretty much
Do you
work the
cook it,
saute
pass it over
station, and I kind
to
of hand it
Mallory,
up. Yeah,
who's
but
laughing out there?
right. Mallory kind of takes over at that point, and Mallory does a
Okay.
lot of my plating. And when
You
I
should
are,
ask to meet Mallory when you come. He's
we're,
the
we're,
best.
we're a great team, Mallory and
Best sous chef.
myself.
I'm taking him home.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So there we go. We got the perch on a plate.
Lovely.
Okay. We're gonna add just a touch more cream.
Just a touch.
just a touch more wine.
Just a touch.
Okay, and then we're going to finish it with just a little bit of whole butter.
Like a little tablespoon or something.
Not even, maybe a half a tablespoon.
I need a sous chef. I think I need Mallory because it's so nice to have your mise en place all done.
Yeah. Shake that around. Sauce is done.
So I understand that you can cook anywhere in the restaurant, right?
Oh,
when
yes,
you have parties
yes.
in different places,
For sure,
you
for
can
sure.
set up a station like
Right.
this.
We
and
do a
cook.
lot of saute stations in the room.
Uh-huh.
And we've done a lot of pasta stations, and we'll do saute stations with perch and veal and tenderloin medallions.
Okay.
And then we're just gonna flake the lemon caper over it.
I'm so glad to know that you do Sunday brunch because there are not very many places that are open
I'll
for
tell you,
breakfast.
our Sunday brunch, believe me, I've eaten all over in Birmingham, and we have one, and I'm not being partial, but
checking
we
out
have
the other places?
Oh, come on, I had to, and we have one of the better brunches in town.
Uh-huh.
We have a wonderful skillet section, we have an eggs Benedict section, and we have a healthy omelet section, which has been
Amazing.
really, we've been very well received on our brunch menu. When you come here
That's
for
great.
brunch, I can assure you you'll come back.
So you need to make reservations.
You don't have to, but it's preferred if you would.
Preferred, okay.
Okay, so that's the dish. We'll sprinkle a little bit of fresh chopped parsley on it.
Out of the garden.
Out of the garden. This is what we grow out there. We got parsley, we got rosemary, we got basil, we got dill, we got some tomatoes, we have the banana peppers. We got
Oh
quite
my
a bit
goodness.
out there in our garden.
Have you got a regular gardener or is that your part-time
Well,
job?
it's kind of myself and one of our waitstaff people helps me out in regards to the garden. Now this dish here is available lemon caper style, that's on our menu, but also we can do anything you want. We're not afraid to customize anything you want on our menu. Like you said, we do a lot of healthy things where people will ask for just light sauteed or plain broiled fish, and we can, we'll customize anything you want. So don't be afraid to ask. We're more than happy to accommodate anything. I'll never say no. If I have it in the house, you'll have it. I promise you.
Awesome.
Okay.
Thanks. These are 3 great dishes. We appreciate it so much.
Thank you.
And now let's go over and talk to the banquet manager, Stephanie Kraft. We're in a different room in the Triple Nickel restaurant now, and I'm here with Stephanie Kraft. Okay, your title is Director of Marketing and Events, correct?
Yes.
And I'd like to have some credit here because I think it's big of me to stand next to this gorgeous young girl. But anyway, Stephanie, tell me about the different events that you have here and different things that the restaurant can handle.
Sure, yeah, absolutely. So we do all sorts of events, from business meetings and a bunch of corporate parties to showers and proposal events and all sorts of things. So birthday parties all the time. I mean, we can pretty much do anything. Weddings.
So there are all different kinds of spaces in the restaurant.
Right.
Most people see the eating area down there where you have dinner.
Sure.
But upstairs there are 2 separate rooms. One has a bar in it, and I assume a bar can be set up here.
Yes.
And the chef can also come up and cook, set up stations in different places, is my understanding,
Yeah,
correct?
absolutely. Yep, absolutely. So we're really flexible as far as our events go and all of that good stuff. We have packages, of course, because some people, when you tell them, well, we can do anything, that's really overwhelming.
Right. What's the largest group you can handle?
Well, in both of the spaces, our technical seated capacity is 65. But if we do a cocktail party, I mean, we can do coming and going 100 people, no problem.
Okay, and you have big screens in the rooms upstairs, which are really, really cool.
Yeah.
I can imagine inviting 39 friends, because I'm coming too, and watching a Tiger game, or having dinner and just watching a Tiger game. It'd be a lot of fun.
Right, absolutely. So on our west deck, that's the one with the bar and a little more loungy type of atmosphere. We have a 72-inch big screen over there, in addition to numerous other televisions. And then on this side, we have an 8x10 projection screen that actually drops down from the ceiling, which is really awesome. So for weddings, we can use it for slideshows. For, of course, corporate events, we can pull that down and we can showcase sponsors or meetings and that sort of thing. Or if you don't need it, it just goes right back up and you never know it's there.
Awesome. And all over the place you have these great views of Woodward and cars and people.
Right.
And you just feel kind of like you're in the center of everything here.
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely. Especially for Dream Cruise, we're totally the center of
Dream
everything.
Cruise, of course. That's the perfect event
Absolutely.
for here. Yeah.
Yep,
With
absolutely.
the windows open. Awesome.
Yep.
Okay, and Stephanie is also really great at display. She's got this gorgeous display of their food. So let's get Chef back in here to tell us about that. So here's Chef Fleming again. Hang on to your hat. You want to tell us about your fresh ingredients here at Triple Nickel?
One of the beauties of being the chef at the Triple Nickel is they let us start off with some of the finest ingredients available. So here we have a certified Angus filet. Here we have some beautiful Colorado spring lamb chops. Our seafood, we have some of the finest seafood in Birmingham. We deal with a company called Foley's in Boston, and literally their fish is 2 days out of the water when I receive it. This is all of our East Coast fish here. This is a West Coast halibut, but here we have some beautiful yellowfin tuna out of the East Coast. We have some beautiful Block Island swordfish out of the East Coast. We have some unsoaked sea scallops. These
Explain
scallops
what that means now, because that's really important.
Right, unsoaked sea scallops. Most scallops, what happens is when you dredge the scallops from the bottom of the ocean floor, they bring them up and they put them in a brine solution, which is salt water. These are just plain, we get them literally in a mesh bag. So I'd say only maybe about 10% of the scallops that you find around town are unsoaked.
Or worse, it can be a solution that's not very healthy for you to plump up the scallops.
Right.
Because the boats go out for 30 days and they're frozen on the boat.
And we'll talk about that as well too. But as far as when you look at a scallop and when you go to sear it, you're looking for a caramelization. It gets nice and golden brown. And if they're soaked, they won't caramelize for you. So you're looking for that in the scallop. And then we have some beautiful salmon here that we get out of Jail Island. And this is all from Foley's in Boston. And I'm telling you, what Foley's does is these fishermen, they go out for 7 days when they go catch their fish. Well, when they come back to port, they have 7-day-old fish. Foley's doesn't, and that boat goes to port. And what happens is you have to buy the whole boat. Foley's won't buy the whole boat. What happens is Foley's backs off, they take us to the fishery that bought the boat, and they take the top of the catch. So literally their fish is 1 or 2 days, one day, it's right out of the water one day. And then I'll place my order on Tuesday. They go to auction on Wednesday. I get the fish from the East Coast. It'll be delivered on Thursday, and it's 1 day out of the water.
So they must have to pay more.
Exactly,
for that, right?
and we pay more as well. But this is, again, some of the amenities of the Triple Nickel. As being the chef is the coolest thing, that I'm able to start off with some of the finest ingredients. Then we have some of our Great Lakes fish here, okay? And as far as this goes, again, we avoid the middleman. We go direct to the source. So I won't buy from any local fisheries. We have Great Lakes pickerel here, or walleye, whichever you choose to call it. And then we have some great Michigan lake perch here. And again, what happens is I go direct to these fisheries, and we buy enough of it that we can source it out and get it direct shipped to the restaurant. So this is some of the coolest ingredients that are available that we're able to start off with.
Not to mention your fresh herbs in the garden and
Right,
all of these
exactly.
wonderful vegetables
Right.
that probably come from local
We
purveyors.
buy as much local as we can, and we try to buy as much Michigan as we can. And again, we do have a garden out back, and we grow rosemary, basil, mint. We have some banana peppers. We have some tomatoes out there.
We know you have banana peppers.
Yeah, yeah, we kind of smoked you out.
That was only
segment.
because we didn't have the fan on.
There
That's
you
no
go.
problem at all.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Chef Fleming. I've been very impressed with everything I've seen here at the Triple Nickel. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
I'm Chef Lynn. Enjoy.